Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. My husband drained our accounts and wants to kick the kids and I out of the house in a week. Hi, they told me in our relationships that this is illegal, and that you guys would have advice. We're in Ohio. I need a divorce lawyer. On Wednesday, I bought him a ducking Christmas present. On Thursday, I found out he gave me STI. On Friday, he admitted he's been cheating. Yesterday, he drained our accounts. He says I need to be out of the house by Christmas Eve. We have 4 kids, 8, 6, 5 and 2. I haven't worked since the oldest was born. Our relationship has been bad since before my youngest daughter was born. We hadn't meant to get pregnant. This week, I tested positive for an STI. I investigated, confronted him and he admitted it. We had a huge fight. He stormed out of the house. Yesterday, my credit card was declined at the grocery store, and I couldn't get cash. He has emptied all of our accounts. I was in charge of the bills and finances. I know exactly how much was in our checking, savings and money market account. He's changed his password for his 401k. He didn't respond to my frantic texts all day, but just sent me an email saying I had a week to get myself and my kids out of his house, and I had better get a job or go back to my parents if I expect to feed them. We bought the house together before the kids were born and I paid half of the down payment. I have no money or credit cards, so I can't even get a lawyer. I am sitting here staring at a Christmas tree, crying and wondering if I'll have to return my children's presents for food. I have no idea how this happened. I live 2 hours away from my family, so even if I got a job, I'd have to pay for daycare. Should I sell my wedding and engagement rings? Do I make a resume and apply for a job in my old field, accounting, or just get a job at Starbucks or McDonald's? Can he do this? TL, doctor, I'm Azam and my husband has taken all of my money and is going to kick us out of the house. I am simply in shock. Man, your attorney is going to wreck him over this. That much bad faith is going to make a judge a lot less sympathetic to any arguments he makes in his favor when determining custody and the division of assets. Do not move out until your attorney tells you to or a judge orders you out. That house is likely as much yours as it is his, and, if so, he cannot evict you for any reason. If you have the money, get an attorney now and start the process of getting an emergency support order. He doesn't get to leave you high and dry like hat. If you can't afford an attorney, or if he's taken all the money you might use, call around anyways, or get in touch with legal aid. In the interim, do what you need to do to survive and feed your kids. Get in touch with your local food bank and with a domestic violence shelter. You are not alone. Some divorce practitioners would take a case like this without a retainer, since the stay-at-home mom with zero cash and, shocker, kids to feed is somewhat common. If there is equity in the house or STI Santa has a higher-ish paying job, a divorce attorney may be willing to speak with her and get her started and seek an order for their fees from the spouse, who raided the bank accounts. Former divorce lawyer. Go to a lawyer now, regardless of how much cash you have on hand. Here in Florida, a divorce lawyer can file a petition on your behalf for temporary support and attorney's fees as soon as the divorce is filed. It allows the lawyer to ask the judge for money, either lump sum or monthly, during the lawsuit in order to cover your expenses, even before final determinations are made. It's specifically in place for situations like this, which are not too uncommon. I would bet a similar mechanism is available in your state. TLDR, don't let the fact that your bank account was drained make you think you can't go to a lawyer. You can. This happens more frequently than you think and the system is set up to handle it. Update: my husband tried to close our accounts and kick myself and the kids out of our house. Updates: here's the original. First, I want to say that I logged out of this account that evening, and didn't come back until now, and I was blown away by all of the people offering food, gift certificates, or just goodwill, and I started crying. Again. I will respond to each of you individually. So, to recap, my STBX is a cheating ass, and he panicked and tried to erase his family. The update: this all happened on a Sunday, so there wasn't a lot I could do right then. I put the kids to bed, and called my mom and cried. Then, I called my mother-in-law, who was horrified. My in-laws came over that night with $200 in cash and a check for much more. My father-in-law didn't say much, but he did fix my bathroom door, which is how he shows affection, and muttered that he would fix this. I opened a new checking account at a new bank, thanks for this advice, with the check my in-laws gave me. I opened a new credit card in my name. My mother deployed a niece to help with childcare for the next week. I called in a lot of child-minding favors, and with the cash my in-laws gave me, I was able to pay the babysitter while I worked this out. I met with 2 divorce attorneys. Both of them told me about what you had said, that he was legally screwed. I chose one, and we set the process in motion to get an emergency hearing, but by Tuesday, my old checking account had most of the money back, and my husband was asking to talk. On the advice of my lawyer, I took half of the checking account money and put it in my new bank, and kept records of everything. I pulled our credit reports. He has over $40,000 in credit card debt. I also found out that he received a raise last year, and funneled this money out of our shared accounts. I would have figured this out when I did our taxes, and this led to him panicking and trying to erase us. Keep in mind, this asshole gave me gonorrhea. I am an accountant by trade, and I'm afraid of CC debt the way some girls are afraid of spiders, so I was horrified about this, but my lawyer thinks it's likely that he'll have to have this debt on his own, as my name isn't on it, and it seems that most of it was spent on his side piece. We have started mediation, which he agreed to when he realized that he would need to pay for both of our divorce attorneys. My goal, which my lawyer thinks is reasonable, is to ask for alimony until I either remarry, not likely, or my 2-year-old is in school full-time, and to have a reasonable amount of child support until she's 18, and then we'll split college costs for all of them. When all the kids are in school, I can concentrate on getting back to work. I also plan to sell the house and buy a smaller house in a less elite section of town. The kids can share rooms, and I can live mortgage-free. So, I'm heartbroken, and diseased, but there's also an incredible weight that is lifted from me. Our marriage has been bad for so long, and I didn't even realize how unhappy I was, and how absent my husband was. It took my 5-year-old almost a week to realize that daddy was gone. I called my mother-in-law, who was horrified. God ducking bless. I'm glad it's working out for you. Sounds like you've gone through a lot. Here's to 2017 being a much better year for you. I loved that part. She called his mother. I hope when I have kids I'll be a kick-ass mom who realizes that sometimes being a good mom is recognizing when your kids duck up this bad and giving them no quarter. You're raising people, not precious angels. People are inherently selfish unless you teach them better. Sounds more like a no wonder he turned out that way with that sort of mother. My ex's mom took her son to my workplace in another town and helped him repossess my car, stranding me 40 miles from home, where my kids were. When I confronted her about it, she told me I owed her for a loan he'd taken out that I didn't even know about. Duck them both. Shit, I hope you're in a much better position than he is. When my former mill found out my ex cheated on me and that's why he was headed back to live with her, she ignored him for a week and made him sleep on the ground in the computer room on an inflatable mattress. No one in the family would share their space with him. I remember reading the original. I'm glad you came through okay, and I'm happy that your in-laws helped you. All too often in this situation people tend to stick by family even when they've done something reprehensible. The credit card debt on top of everything else is pretty crazy. A person couldn't purposefully set themselves up to utterly ruin their own lives better than he did. Yeah, I am so glad about the in-laws too. It really boggles my mind how dumb he is. Kicking his wife and 4 kids out of the house they both own with no money. How was he planning to hide this cruelty from his parents, especially when this involves their grandchildren? And how was he planning to not be screwed over by the law? What a moron. I saw the update before I saw the original, but read the original first. I gotta tell you, as a lawyer I got an immediate justice boner reading the original because oh my god, that jackass couldn't have been stupider if he tried. I was mentally fist pumping like, girl, you about to take him to church. I admit my own reaction, not a lawyer, was to wonder if there'd be lawyers lining up for the privilege of schooling this stummy. I mean, an easy case, to say the least. I feel slightly bad for his lawyer. Can you imagine how the conversation would have gone down as he tried to explain his actions? Do you think banging his head on a desk would have been involved? I gotta tell you, there's no way I would have taken his case if I could have avoided it. That kind of guy makes a terrible client. You think that after pulling that kind of stunt, he's gonna happily pay his counsel all their due? Hell nah. He's trying to evict his own kids, so I don't think avoiding paying his lawyer would be a blip on his moral radar. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.